I'm Melody. Welcome to Myanmar Today Review, and this is where we visit the top stories for this week from Myanmar Today. Here are the reports from our reporters from this week. State Counsellor initiates homemade cloth face mask campaign. Growing number of people causes concern over virus infection. Red Cross honors medical professionals and volunteers in the fight against COVID-19. Before we get to the reports, let's take a look at the featured local news from this week. State Counsellor Aung San Suu Kyi held a video conference on Wednesday from the presidential palace in Naypyidaw to discuss managing the marketplaces during the COVID-19 period. After the introductory remarks by the state councillor, Nyai Township Administrative Officer U Tenzin Kaing discussed arrangement of market stalls for vendors, preparation of quarantine centers, and intensive care units, conducting awareness campaigns in his township. Pituloto MP Do Pyong Keti from Galaw Township constituency presented COVID-19 measures at the markets in Galaw, Heho, and Alban townships and opening temporary marketplaces, the willingness of the people to abide by the health regulations, enforcement of rules, and difficulties encountered in managing marketplaces. Deputy Mayor of Naypyidaw Council Area U Ye-min U briefed on the systematic management on operating markets in the Capital Territory, the conduct of awareness campaigns for the sellers and shoppers, disinfection works, regular cleaning activities, and systematic promotion of mobile vendors. In her response, the state councillor gave advice on skill buildings for volunteers, mandatory wearing of face masks for the public, pragmatic ways of adapting to the new way of living in homes and schools, and measures for preventing COVID-19. The ambassador of the Republic of Korea to Myanmar presented 2,000 sets of personal protective equipment, worth about $44,000 to the Ministry of Health and Sports on Thursday. Director General Professor Dr. Zaw Tantun from the Department of Medical Research received the items donated by the Hyundai Motor and Ishui the Hand Motors. And I believe it's time now for our first report. To solve the problem of not being affordable to buy surgical masks for daily use, the cloth masks can be made at a cheaper price. Now, the citizens are highly interested and participating in the homemade cloth face mask competition initiated by State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi. They're showing the pictures of the cloth face masks they made, and the state councillor appreciated the effort and participation of the citizens.
When wearing masks is counted as the important measure against COVID-19, the citizens are highly urged to wear face masks whenever they go outside. However, not everyone is wearing masks because of different reasons, and one of the reasons is that the surgical mask of disposable masks, which are single-used, became expensive for daily use, and they are also sometimes out of stock. To solve this issue, the Ministry of Health and Sports advised to wear homemade face masks and provided guidelines of how to make safe face masks at home by oneself. To raise the habit of wearing masks among the citizens, State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi, who is the chairperson of National Committee on Prevention, Control and Treatment of COVID-19, initiated the campaign for making homemade face masks. She announced on her Facebook profile that the citizens can participate in the homemade mask competition by showing the picture of the mask made by themselves on the comment section of her Facebook. She herself also posted the picture of wearing the cloth face mask made by herself.
State Councillor ရဲ့အခုပြုလုပ်ကျင်းပထားတဲ့ဒီ mass campaign လေးရဲ့ရည်ရွယ်ချက်ကပထမတစ်ချက်ကတော့ဒီလူတိုင်းအပြင်ထွက်တိုင်းမဖြစ်
I think the purpose of homemade face mask campaign by the state councillor is to raise awareness of wearing masks whenever going outside and to express the citizen that they can have cheap face masks by using the extra clothes at home. I'm excited to make a face mask all by myself, and I am happy to use the neat face mask I make.
Since it is not the single use, it can reduce the cost and everyone are affordable to make the homemade face masks. The mask can be easily made by using needle and thread or by using sewing machine. The state councillor also invited the men to participate in making the cloth face masks.
ကျွန်တော်တို့အပြင်ကိုခဏလေးပဲထွက်လိုက်တယ်ဆိုရင်တော့မှပြန်ရောက်လာပြီဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဝတ်ဆင်ထားတဲ့တစ်ခါလုံး mask တွေကိုစွန့်ပစ်လိုက်ရတာဖြစ်
Even if we go outside for a while, we have to throw the masks we wear when we come back home. It can increase the waste production. Moreover, for these who cannot afford to buy surgical masks for daily use, the reusable homemade face masks are useful. When I made the cloth face masks for the first time, it is quite difficult, but when I make more, it becomes easier.
The state councillor appreciated the effort of citizens participating in the competition, and she said that this competition is highly supported to raise awareness of wearing face masks among the citizens. Moreover, some women are making many cloth face masks to distribute to the citizens. Donors provide the cloth sheets to the tailor.
ယောဂတွေကာကွယ်ဖို့အတွက် mask တွေတက်မယ်ဆိုတော့တည်င်းတွေကိုဖတ်ရတဲ့အချိန်မှာကျမတို့က mask တွေတက်ဖို့စုံစမ်းလိုက်တဲ့အချိန်မှာဈေးတွေကလည်းကြီးတယ်
When we are told to wear face masks to prevent from the disease, I cannot afford to buy disposable masks. So I use the extra clothes I have to make face masks for my family, and I also distribute it to the neighbors. Most of the people in our ward are not wearing masks because they cannot afford them. When our Damui township is under semi-lockdown, wearing masks becomes a must. Now our residents of the ward are together making cloth masks to donate to the residents. We donate about 100 to 200 face masks a day.
Not only wearing the mask during the outbreak of pandemic, the state councillor said that she wanted to introduce the habit of wearing masks whenever feeling sick to the citizens. She said that the citizens are explaining why they participate in the homemade mask campaign, and these reasons are the solutions to the changes and development. That's all about the homemade face mask campaign by the state councillor. This is Dora Swison from MI Radio.
That's the report on how State Councillor initiates homemade cloth face mask campaign. Although the infection rate of coronavirus is not going down in Myanmar, many of the people have taken to the streets starting from the early May. Now, COVID-19 infection can't be kept controlled, but at such a time, crowds of people are being seen to be gathering in public places. That causes concern over the virus infection.
Although the infection rate of coronavirus does not go down in Myanmar, many of the people have taken to the streets starting from early May. Now, COVID-19 infection can't be kept under control, but at such a time, crowds of people are being seen to be gathering in the public places that causes concern over the virus infection. Though lesser positive cases were found early May, people are now going out without following the instruction, stay at home. It is time to go inside with the time of reopening of the factories and workplaces. Fewer new cases result in a reduction in people's sense of worry, and this reason pushes the people into gathering in public places. According to Umya Mindu, Yangon Region Local representative of Lantaya Township, he said that the people in populous Lantaya Township, having several factories and workplaces, lack the directives and guidelines issued by the authorities. The working class people are not able to follow any instructions given by the officials concerned.
Our Lantaya Township has the most working class people, and they lack the directives and guidelines released by the ministry concerned. Only one person from one family is allowed to go shopping. But in Lantaya, there are many working class people. One person from one family goes out to buy things, and the rest people go to work, and so there's no one at home. The workers are in large numbers in this township, and they stay at hostels. It is the densely populated township, and that leads to obstacle to observance of the directives and guidelines to some degree.
Now the virus can't be kept under control, so growing number of people gathering in public places causes concern over the virus. People are highly urged to wear face masks when they go out, and they should avoid crowds and public gatherings.
Most of the people don't wear face masks, and some mistakenly wear face masks as the less number of new cases are found. Now, we should not be careless, and the positive cases have reached more than 170. It might have contact persons. Now, we should be some distance apart, wash hands, and wear masks. Everyone needs to wear a mask. The ward administrators and the market in charges are still monitoring whether the people wear masks or not.
Medical professionals are warning the people not to stay careless until the government announces that the virus can be kept under control because they may still be asymptomatic persons.
People are weak in observing disciplines. Whatever we look at Thailand or Singapore, the virus infection rate may slow, but they can well keep the virus under control. The coronavirus might suddenly slam the people in an unexpected moment. This point we should pay special attention.
Most of the coronavirus victims found in Myanmar are imported ones. The government banned entry visa of Myanmar citizens arriving in the foreign countries and the foreigners wishing to enter the country. However, the government is accepting migrant workers wishing to return Myanmar starting from early May, and they will be kept in a 21-day quarantine. The Ministry of Health and Sports constantly urges the people not to go out unnecessarily, avoid crowds and public gatherings and events, and to wear masks while they are out, and wash hands from time to time. Until 11 May in Myanmar, there are 180 confirmed cases. 6 patients have deceased, while 74 have recovered and 59 are allowed to be discharged from respective hospitals, according to the statement issued by the Ministry of Health and Sports. The government placed some townships on lockdowns until 15 May as part of the preventive measures against the virus, and will be likely to make some changes in the current directives and guidelines beyond 15 May.
That's the report on the growing number of people causes concern over virus infection. Let's move on to the last report for the day. To celebrate the selfless effort of medical workers and volunteers in the fight against COVID-19, the theme of the World Red Cross and World Crescent Day of this year was designated as Keep Clapping. Red Cross members celebrated this day, which fell on the 8th of May, by giving applause for the frontliners of medical professionals and volunteers to honor their sacrifices.
Around the world, healthcare workers and volunteers are taking high-risk responsibility to fight against the pandemic COVID-19. To acknowledge this crucial role of healthcare workers and volunteers who are working in extraordinary circumstances during the pandemic, World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day 2020 was celebrated by giving applause for the frontliners. World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day is celebrated annually on 8 May, marking the birth anniversary of Henry Dunant, who is the founder of the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC. This day is observed to acknowledge and encourage the humanitarian activities carried out by Red Cross and its affiliate organizations. Even though the day can't be held as usual because of the virus outbreak, it was celebrated by holding video conferencing, and Myanmar Red Cross Society also participated in celebrating World Red Cross Day.
This is a significant day for international Red Cross and Red Crescent societies in the world. But because of the COVID-19, Myanmar Red Cross Society held a celebration through video conferencing, which was joined by our members and affiliate organizations. The purpose is that we want to encourage the humanitarian spirit of the Red Cross members who are helping in fight against the pandemic at high risk. Moreover, we want to celebrate and praise the effort of the frontliners, medical professionals.
For this year 2020, the theme of the World Red Cross Day was called Keep Clapping, for the frontliners of battling against COVID-19, including healthcare workers and volunteers of Red Cross. Red Cross members from various cities of Myanmar participated in clapping program to mark the World Red Cross and Red Crescent Day.
This clapping campaign is kind of mental support for the frontliners. We don't know how long the crisis will go on, so it is important to use the resources of the medical workers and volunteers as long as we can by spreading the available resources to all around the country to fulfill the needs of regional public health departments. We are helping in quarantine centers as well as by raising community awareness and giving mental support to the citizens.
Red Cross is the huge voluntary group that can contribute to all parts of the country. It has been participating in necessary aspects of prevention and control measures against COVID-19 by spreading the human resources and by giving physical support.
Our Red Cross volunteers are collaborating with the health departments, respective governments, and governmental organizations of each state and region of the country. So we hold the awareness programs for basic health guidelines, hands washing campaigns, and assist in temperature checking in common places and checkpoints of the cities. We also give help in quarantine. Red Cross volunteers from one state are making hand gels by themselves to give to the public, and volunteers from Gain State are producing face shields. In some areas, the volunteers make the face masks. The MRCS also supports protective items for the volunteers, as well as giving them online training if necessary. We also receive donation and distribute the collective finance to all essential parts of the country.
I am now assisting in quarantine center where to receive the overseas workers who had returned to the country. We follow the regional public health department instructed us to do. As acting as the volunteer, I also take care of my personal health by using hand sanitizers, wearing masks and gloves. Although we are not in the front line, we are trying to accomplish any duty assigned by the health department.
The clapping campaign is celebrated not only by the Red Cross and Red Crescent organizations, but also by the countries around the world to honor the sacrifices of the medical workers and volunteers who are fearlessly participating in fight against COVID-19. The total confirmed cases of COVID-19 just passed over 4 million worldwide. This is Tora Suisin reporting from MI Radio.
That's the report on Red Cross honors medical professionals and volunteers in a fight against COVID-19. Now moving on to international news. The Chinese Ministry of Commerce said that China will strengthen its international cooperation. The promise was made as G20 trade and investment ministers at a meeting on Thursday pledged to avoid unnecessary trade barriers. Meeting came after the WTO and IMF warned of the growing use of export restrictions. G20 participants said restrictions on vital medicine supplies and other essential exports must be proportionate, transparent, and temporary. Chinese officials emphasized that China will follow G20 guidelines for global investment and support multinational trade cooperation.
China encourages investors to support developing and poor countries through technical assistance and capacity building, and would enhance cooperation between government and private investors. China also encourages investment in medical supplies and new capacity. Meanwhile, China would make efforts to reduce technical barriers, boost the application of e-commerce platforms, and optimize the trade environment. China also aims to build a tenacious global supply chain and explore solutions to the global crisis while containing the coronavirus pandemic.
Stable bilateral relations between China and the United States serve the interest of both peoples and contribute to world peace and stability, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian said at a regular press conference on Friday.
Maintaining the stable development of China-US relations is the fundamental interest of both nations. It is also beneficial to world peace and stability. At present, China and the United States should continue to strengthen anti-pandemic collaboration, overcome the situation as soon as possible, treat patients, and restore the economy. This requires the US and China to cooperate.
European Medicines Agency says in the best case scenario, a coronavirus vaccine could be ready by early next year. The Amsterdam-based agency says it's looking at over 100 treatment options for COVID-19 from 33 developers and working to speed up the approval process. Many restaurants in South Korea have introduced service robots to improve COVID-19 pandemic control. Restaurants use robots to bring food to customers. Some robots have position tracking and arranging. Robots can also make noodles, coffee, and even fried chicken in less than 7 minutes. Take a look at this interesting way to serve customers. That's all with the news and report on Myanmar Today Review. Tune in every Saturday on MITV at 8:30 p.m. for Myanmar Today Review. Until next time.